All right, so we'll have Nevada Aaliyah Claxton, our Global Youth Ambassador for the Sophia Miriam Foundation.
Hi. I haven't been here in a while. Well, I mean, I've listened, but I haven't seen you guys in a while. So it's been like 3 weeks, which is great and all. Um, Shout out to Angel who like texted me the other day and made like a really bad day like really like way better than it like was. I really appreciate that. That was like really cool to talk to you. Um, Look at me. I go for 3 weeks and I forget how to talk to you guys. Um, I've spent like 3 weeks trying to figure out like what I'd want to say, and now we're here, and I'm like, ooh, I don't remember what I want to say. Um, okay, well, I guess I've got two things, and while we're on the topic of national pride, there was this thing I wrote like a really long time ago because I got upset at I don't remember what I got upset at, but I got upset at something and not being able to like find my footing in like existing and balancing like being British and Trinidadian and all these other things. So I wrote this and I'm gonna mess it up. I know I'm gonna mess it up. So please be patient with me. Um, I cannot check one nor the other. Doing so would be an injustice to my soul. Yet I showcase the aspects that offend the least, so you can't see I'm a citizen of the world. Rooted in brown boxes and photographs, letters from those I never got to know. For one, my recollection betrays me, to ensure stories can be retold. I exist due to extreme rebellion. I exist due to the will of survival when there's no control. My ancestors' lives were acts of defiance. Through history, I watched their impact unfold. Check one, check the other. I think of how quickly I cursed God, then wrecked my hair. A young girl curious about bleaching her skin because someone told her lovely is equivalent to fair. Ashamed of lunches packed with love and nutmeg in her food, Sanskrit prayers in the morning, and arepas con tostones in the afternoon. How quickly we forget where we come from for the judgment-free embrace of our peers, to avoid casual racism and confrontation, to steer clear of scars beyond our years. So please remind me where I come from, because sometimes I think I forget, of the strength that came before me, the purpose without regret. Remind me I'm from the indigenous, the Tainos, Arawaks, and Caribs. Encomienda, forced to work to live. Los españoles en busca del camino el dorado, los que no pudieron encontrar el oro, que colonizaron la tierra y dijeron historias sin contar. I know I'm derived from the Yoruba, Igbo, and American Marines. The children of the enslaved masters fought in war, given land to create the home they desperately need. Remind me of their bittersweet entwined fates with indentured laborers from Indian plains, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, and Rajasthan, recruited from both north and south before embarking across the sea to a foreign land. Remind me that I am cocoa, cotton and sugarcane, Sarim Singh, Rosales, Headley, and Blades, last names derived from so much pain and traceable, I don't truly know from whence they came. Different islands and more foreign handles, PR, Venezuela, Barbados, and beyond. If I look back far enough, I know what ships they were on. I can't unpack my identity without addressing all that's occurred, the events of my being, the immigrants that built my world, the kind of pain unquantifiable, the kind of strife unjustifiable, yet I am descended from grace. Remind me I'm an island girl, connected to the ocean, navigating cities and freezing winters. Allow me to recall how to move to the beat of cumbia, calypso, and old school blues, as I relish in the gift of our native tongues, broken English, Spanish, and Creole, because I don't really care about who understands. Let me reminisce about the Lasco fan in our living room, the colorful walls that adorn Ibis Street, the long skirts I cursed about on days where I couldn't bear the heat. Permit me to understand I am everything I've learned and more, that I furrow between the lines, able to view each world so clearly, Ralph's famous Italian ice to the snow cone man up the road. I will be singing Piragua long till I'm old. Carnival in Notting Hill to the streets of my home in Point. Calinda, Limbo, the sound of steel pan. Hear me scream, Buyin' box iron, old battery buy, hear me scream. Watch the gap between the train and the platform. Hear me scream, I am a bridge, a reminder that love is love is love is love and does not know boundaries placed down by race. Or hear me as I celebrate the landscapes, the undocumented, the dreamers, our flora and fauna, and every believer in being nothing but the embodiment of lifelines written into constellations and across the mountains by those that came before. Because I am neither one nor the other, 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. A tragically beautiful mixture led to this beautifully unconventional girl. So if they're serious about sending people back for true, they will have to split me into more than two. And I'm done. It's amazing what you can do when you get annoyed at the universe. It's something. I've not really shown anybody that. So to the 25 plus people in here, you're welcome.
Wow. More than 25 plus people. More than 25 plus. We have like 40 something. So don't worry. Very creative, very poetic. That's like 19 years. Yeah, that's like 19 years all packed into a summary and synopsis there, talking about being all over the world, you know, different cultures and places. Wow. Absolutely amazing. Anything else you want to share with the girls? I think it really ties in nicely with, you know, us talking about our country and our identity and remembering our ancestry, etc. So you go ahead if you want to.
Geez, there's so much I've wanted to talk to you guys about, and now I have like one day left and a couple of minutes, and it's like, oh no. I guess, okay, because this is very important. Recently, the local mental health charity in my town got in contact with me and my friends, and you know, who run Speak Out Luton, to discuss a partnership to basically tackle the mental health and suicide crisis in our county, because you know it's really skyrocketed over the pandemic, and it got me thinking about how far me and my friends have come over the last couple of months, and you know, like how hard it's for so many people, especially like kids I've gone to school with. And you know, for a very long time I ran on fight or flight. I can remember like my first therapy session and my therapist being like, you know, you don't know how to relax. And I was like, you think? Yeah, you really? I had no clue whatsoever, no idea. Thank you for pointing this out. And you know, it worked for a really long time. You know, living on fight or flight, it was the driving force for like early success, and my fuel was basically trauma. You know, it was avoidance. I was running on high emotion and the desperation of getting away, and it was keeping me alive until it wasn't. And you know, I'd known for a while where I was, that I wasn't okay, and the scary reality is kind of when you sit there and it's like, I don't know what to do. So the only option you feel like you have is to kind of just not be around. To hit rock bottom in that way, you know, it's kind of like the worst ways possible. And you know, it kind of came to this point where I couldn't mask this pain, and I couldn't shut it down, and I could no longer run away. So in my mind, it was better off to be anywhere but here. And you know, last year around this time, I had what I now, you know, joke as a breakthrough, because I'm so much better than, you know, that poor kid that was like crying in her journalism classes. But back then it was like this complete breakdown. And my friends and I joke about it now, about how like clueless I was the whole time, to the fact they were like trying to get me help because I was too scared to ask for it, and about how like they didn't know how to maneuver my jokes and my self-deprecation and my unwillingness to exist. So they told our music teacher, who said she noticed too, who told the media department, who, when I look back on it, would check on me like unprovoked. And the whole time, unbeknownst to me, they were just trying to make sure I was okay. And I was just like, oh, they're being normal. And my friends were like, no, they knew. We told them. And it's like, last year I went to therapy for the first time, and it was the first time I ever really spoke about my feelings. And it's been a year and something since then. And, sometimes I have to admit, I've barely come around the bend. And everyone's always like, you're so tough and look how strong you are. And it's crazy to admit, but I'm not. I'm a wonderfully calculated mess that is also just extremely resilient. And when I was first diagnosed with anxiety, I was like, duh, yeah, I suspected that. No surprise here. Like the lamp in my bedroom could tell you that I am constantly nervous. But there was this relief in knowing what I felt wasn't simply just in my head, that there was something to go along with it. That I wasn't just like losing my mind, but there was also a shame that came with it. And in reality, I didn't care about who knew. I was cool with it. If you knew me already, you knew that I was already nervous. It would have been no surprise. But I knew what it would have meant for my parents. And, I knew what it would have meant if they found out. So I hid it for a really long time, and then eventually it came up. And the first thing that I was kind of told was, to pray the demons away, which I laugh about it now. But in that second, in that moment, I would have burnt the entire universe to the ground. Just putting that out there. But it's great to laugh about it now. And I was kind of told that it was my fault, and that, I'd allowed society to play these things in my head. And in that moment, I was kind of stomped on when I was down. See, what I was really hoping for, and what I really needed, was for an adult to just hug me, to tell me everything was going to be okay. But I was left hoping for something I was never guaranteed to get, and that kind of caused more hurt. So I dropped out of my dream school. Yep, I did that. To take a year to figure myself out, to figure out who I was outside of who I was told I needed to be. See, many times it's a lot easier for adults to tell us we're broken than to just see us for who we are. The other day, Rachel Ziegler, she was cast as Snow White, and I went crazy. Because if you know me, I love Rachel Ziegler and I love Disney, so it was a win-win. See, now, if you don't know who she is, you soon will in the coming years, and she is incredible. And, at first I couldn't contain my joy. A Colombian-American girl making her mark on the world. Of course I'm over the moon. She's making history. I've watched her grow to this moment. I feel like a proud mom. But as I scroll through social media and I see her dressed up as Maria from West Side Story, and, then I see her stood next to Snow White at the Disney park and dressed up as Ariel for a school play, and I see the parallels between who she was as a kid and, like, all that she's achieved so far. Despite my joy for her moment and how deeply proud I am of her, I sobbed like a baby. Fun fact. See, just before my 5th birthday, my mom took me to the Disney store in our local mall. She was taking me in to get an outfit for my big day, because back then they'd have all the most recent costumes hung on the walls. The shoes and the crowns and the pretty dresses and the capes. And I remember walking in wanting so desperately to, like, dress as Jasmine or Pocahontas, or to be Belle or Ariel or Aurora, to spin around like Snow White or Cinderella. I loved their stories, and, I was, like, truly in love with their songs and their bravery and their strength. Now here I was in this brightly lit unit with all these animations and characters of the early 2000s, and, they're lining the walls and the screens. I was in my own personal little heaven. I was excited. Of course I was excited. It was the first time I could mentally recall going into the store. When I pointed to the pretty yellow dress and my mom said no, I assumed it was the color. When I pointed to the two-piece and the answer remained no, I assumed it was simply because, well, I was too young. We went through the list of princesses that existed up to that point. I even casted a small voiced vote towards Gabriella or Sharpay or Taylor, all to the same no, before she picked up a pink Minnie Mouse dress and turned to tell me that I'd have to be her. Because I was black, and black girls can't be those princesses. They can't be those characters. And I will never know how to describe the feeling that overcame my little heart, but I know something in that moment was squashed. We bought the dress, and I did wear it to my party, and it was a good party. But I recall a comment made by a boy about being a mouse instead of a princess, and I recall the words my mom said quite often. And the feeling that accompanies that still kind of stings today, just as if it was said yesterday. See, up until then, no one had ever really tried to dictate my relationship between the color of my skin and who I could be in this lifetime. And unbeknownst to me, that was just going to be the first moment of many. When I was around 8 and just becoming more aware and more immersed in the wider musical world, I became obsessed with the idea of writing and performing and singing like so many of the people I had grown up watching on my screen. I remember coming home and one day and telling my parents that that's what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. I was buzzing, from the energy of just having watched Lemonade Mouth for the first time, and it was one of the first times I'd been old enough to be aware of the way in which I could connect to music. I was on fire and determined. And they said, no, you can't. Pick something else. And made an attempt to steer me towards, what other people's kids went to encourage traditional pathways. I was kind of crushed again, but headstrong, as most 8-year-olds are, and majorly aware of what I could do, even when they outrightly said no. So, when Disney created like Shine, I came up with a plan. I sat my family down in front of it, because what better way to convince them to let me do music than bamboozling them into watching a film about a boy who struggles but perseveres in making his dreams come true despite his father's outright disapproval. See why I did that? I mean, he gains his support at the end. I must be able to do that too, right? I remember trying to insinuate that we weren't too far removed from the plot line, but my parents had no interest in music or the ideas, or in listening, so I did not win that one. And as I watched Rachel's news the other day, I couldn't help but feel defeated. Those memories stung because I looked back for too long imagining who I could have been if I had got what I thought I needed. See, what I always thought I needed was a parent who was as excited for me to be doing what I love as I was excited to be doing what I love. Parents who encourage the human experience, who believe in me and my thoughts regardless of my age, who understand when I feel things in my roots, who never push me to believe I was confused or strange or too much. And throughout the years, as I've pushed and lost for that understanding, and as the spark I had for what I loved, dulled and dulled, I've had to come to terms with the fact that may never happen. I've had to undo a lot of conditioning. I understand that when I burned out last year, it was a long time coming. I understand that my anger and my grief and all of that, it comes and still comes from burying parts of myself, and that the only way to counteract it is to live as fearlessly and authentically as possible, which is exactly why I'm saying all this now, because this would have never happened a year ago. That's really true. I've had to learn to trust my knowing, my own senses, despite the voices around me. And it's not that things will ever completely hurt less, because healing is not linear, I can tell you that one. But I understand how important it is to live and to fear disappointing myself more than disappointing others. Sometimes we play a role in our own suffering by standing and waiting for the people who cause us harm to change, to take accountability instead of utilizing our agency to change the way we interact with them. In this lifetime, if you know it in your roots, don't betray yourself. Don't say I do when you mean I don't. Do not disappoint yourself to avoid disappointing others. Our parents' fears aren't our own. They become our own. They become our limitations, but we get to decide what's worth tolerating, what gets our time and our space and our energy. We aren't powerless. We are people who deserve respect regardless of whether the opposition is family or your best friend. We are people with feelings and needs and problems, and our pain and fear and emotions are valid regardless of our age. The meaning of life is life. Nothing is a waste of time. If it's good for your soul, it's good for your soul, you know? There's so much art and literature and food to try, and the whole breadth of human experience and knowledge is available to us at the edge of our fingertips. So don't sit around and wait for your purpose. Live. The chances of us being exactly who our parents want us to be are slim to none. So see life and people for who and what they are, and understand the difference between authentic love and ego love. Appreciate what actually is, and don't fight to appreciate what you wanted what is to be. Being gaslit is heavily confusing, but remember, life isn't entirely defined by achievement or attainment. It's defined by love and laughter and joy, and the feelings in the quiet moments with those you appreciate, and pain and struggle and all the bad stuff too, because without that, you're not truly living. So nurture yourself, trust yourself, reparent yourself, and most importantly, remember that black and brown girls can be princesses too. Don't let anyone limit you. Follow your sueñitos, because little dreams make up the best part of living, even when the odds are against you, when things are hard to pull off. 1% of a chance is a lot more than. So I've said a lot. I'm so sorry if I've bored you to death. You may never have to hear me speak ever again. I think I can hear my voice echoing in the living room. That's a scary thing. So I'm gonna hand you back over. Bye, guys.
Thank you very much, Aaliyah, for being so open and, heartfelt. I know it would not have been easy to, bare your soul to so many persons here, but I'm sure it would have touched someone because, there are lots of other young girls out there like yourself who may be, struggling, and, we all have our struggles. So I'm sure somebody would have been able to associate with your struggles and would have helped them in some way to be authentic to themselves, to be resilient despite whatever challenges, and to keep pressing on. Okay. Any of the girls want to comment or share any of your experiences, or to, any feedback?
Well, I'd like to say that it was very brave of her to, not me for that, those are my chickens, but I think it was very brave of her to open up to us like that and tell us her story. At some point, I can relate to her story, and I think she's a very brave girl, and I believe that she will make it. She will definitely make it, and whatever she puts her head, her heart, and her mind to, she will definitely achieve in life. And I wish this for all of us. Thank you.
Thanks, Shayann. Anybody else?
Yes, I would also like to say something. I think her speech was just wonderful, and it was very motivational. I really enjoyed it, especially her poem. It really spoke to me, and I don't know. I would like her to continue, because I think she has a real talent. Okay, it's just amazing. It's one of the best poems I've ever heard. I don't know why, but I don't know. It's like I can relate with what she said. So props to you, girl.
Thank you, Selena. Anybody else? Right, girls. So we're on our home stretch now. So what we'll do is we'll open up the floor for the facilitators to have a few words before we close off. So we're going to move into, as we wrap up, any comments or feedback from the partners. So I think we have Deborah. Gibran, our in-house psychologist, who wants to share a few words, and then we'll take anyone else.
Hi everyone. Hi Simone, thank you. In ending this, this is our last day for until the end of July, right?
On the 10th of July.
Yeah, so.
Once a month, yeah.
All right, so I just want to say a lot has been said during the last few weeks, as well as today, to support and empower you young ladies. Each speaker's words were very meaningful. Aaliyah said a lot of real deep-seated things for a young girl, and I appreciate everything that she said. I have come to understand that in every day, everything that you do, there's something to cherish. After all, God has made each and every one of us special. So when you wake up, remind yourself to appreciate the day as it's passing by. Enjoy something in everything that you do. In each of your activities, like taking care of your home, helping take care of your home, even planning a birthday surprise party for someone, or eventually when we start to get to go out to events, helping people in need is very important. Just remember that these are the years of your life that will help to mold you into the person that you will be as an adult. I know it seems that with every passing year, there's more and more pressure on you to build yourself up into something great for your future. You know, you get it from your teachers, you get it from your parents, and it will become stressful, a lot stressful for you. I know that many of you may be going through things that you feel you are not able to handle. I know because I have been there. But you can rise above all these obstacles. And a very good thing is you have us. Don't be afraid to speak your mind. Speak your truth. Let people know how you feel. It is important to you. If it is important to you, then others must learn to accept, respect, or understand what you are going through. No matter how big or small it is, you remember there is a solution to every problem. I encourage you all to join groups that hold meaning, that moves forward, that help others. I want you to know also that we, your facilitators, and the Sophia Miriam Foundation, we have your back. We are here for you. We are here to provide you with the clarity that you would need when things would seem ambiguous. We are here to encourage you in every way possible when you feel down with whatever you are going through, whatever type of emotional turmoil you are going through. We are here to motivate your ambition when you need to gain success or when it is questionable. We are here to empower your confidence when you are not certain and when there is insecurity all around you. We will always be here for you. As Michelle Obama had stated in one of her speeches, she said that you can't underestimate the importance of resilience. The trials and tribulations of life may be great. Getting through them is the ultimate challenge. That's what life is about. The question is what happens when you feel. You don't just sit there and do nothing. So remember that you have us. I want to share one thing from the Bible for you. It's taken from 1 Timothy 4:12. Don't let anyone look down on you because you are young, but set an example for the believers in speech, in conduct, in love, in faith, and in purity. Be an example to all believers in what you say, in the way you live, in your love, your faith, and your purity. Okay? God bless you all. Thanks, Simone.
Thanks very much, Deborah. We really appreciate your words of encouragement to the young ladies. Just a disclaimer with regards to the videos and songs, we do not own the rights to any of the videos or songs played from YouTube, etc. However, they are being used for educational purposes. Okay, so I believe Euthalia wants to say something.
Yes, I definitely would like to say something. I want to say what a journey. From the beginning to until now, it has been a journey, a long journey. And I must let you know, young ladies, it's not only you learning, we are also learning. We are also creating networks, not only through you, but for each other. So it was not just about you learning, but also we as facilitators learning from you, learning through the journey, learning so much. And I want to bring you back to when Damian spoke, and then he says about the process and learning to enjoy the process. Yes, you are on a journey. This world is full of journeys. Every path that we take is our journey. But on that journey, you have to decide, what are you going to do when you reach on that path? What is it in it for me? What am I going to learn? What am I going to see? What am I going to enjoy? What is not good for me and what is good for me? That is your responsibility to decide. But when you get there, it's not going to be smooth. The road will have bumps and the trees will fall in your path. What you have to decide, whether you're going to stay there, wait till the tree rots for you to keep going, take a chainsaw and cut down the tree. You could jump over the tree. There'll be many ways to get over that tree, but you have to decide when that tree falls in front of you, how you're going to go across it. That's your decision to make. Some of us will wait. Some of us will take a chainsaw. Some of us will chop it down with a cutlass. Some of us will use whatever skills we have. But you have to decide how much time you have, because some of us, if we stay there and wait till that tree rot, we'll never get nothing done. That will be forever. So you have to decide if that pathway is so important and how you're going to cross to that other side. That's your decision to make. But however, during that time, trust the process, learn from the process, enjoy where you are on that road to where you're going. Just enjoy the road. Don't be too hard on yourself if you don't achieve your goal the first time you set out, but just keep striving towards the goal. The goal is there. You will reach it. Just keep striding. Do not stop. Keep going forward and enjoy the process. Enjoy that road. Enjoy whatever that is there. We know it's not going to be easy, but learn from every mistake. Learn from every bad situation. And I think that will make you stronger. And this is the same thing I'm saying to myself. And of course, to our dear facilitators, I'm preaching the same thing to myself. The same thing I'm saying to you, even if I know it already, sometimes when you hear somebody else says it, it enforces what you learn and encourages you to put it into practice. So thank you for this opportunity, Simone. Thank you, young people, for meeting you and for giving me that opportunity to share with you and for you to share with me. And thank you to my facilitators that was together with me. Thank you so much for all what you have shared, all what you've brought to the table. It's a wonderful journey, and I hope to continue this journey with you, because there'll be many other things for us to do together, and we should not break the network. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thanks very, very much, Euthalia. It really has been a wonderful journey, a learning journey for us all, even you know, as facilitators in this process. I believe Marlyn wants to say something. Marlyn?
Yeah, good day, everyone. Thanks to the Miriam Foundation. It was a great journey for me, and for Guyana too. One of the things I learned from this meeting is that we having a communication issue. So going along, I start understanding persons don't not willing to speak out. So was a good journey. So one of the things I would like to do is have a communication training for Guyana, so the person will be able to stand up and able to talk freely, because nobody want to stand up and explain. And so I think we have a communication problem in Guyana. But the program was very interesting. I've learned a lot. We have learned a lot, but it's only that is how to put it over. The thing that they having challenge putting it over. But we'll be working on that. So thank you again. And remember your dream. Always dream for something bigger. Always look at the sky is the limit. So continue to dream, young ladies, and work towards your aim and your goal. I thank you.
Thanks very much, Marlyn. And it's good that we're able to identify, you know, areas that we need to work on and strengthen. And as we go through the next few months, we'll be working with the young ladies to strengthen them in various areas. We really hope that they'll become more assertive and more confident and have an opinion, you know, and be able to speak up for yourself. Because if you don't speak up for yourself, nobody else will speak up for you. You have to learn to speak up for yourself. And we're alive, so we have opinions, we have feelings, we have emotions, and we need to speak. We need to speak out. You make use of opportunities. An opportunity lost is seldom regained. We need to make decisions. We need to make wise and steady decisions, not too fast. Don't make rash decisions, but at the same time, don't take too long. If you procrastinate, and especially in decision making, sometimes you end up not making a decision and succumbing to whatever circumstances that may be around you. So you have to learn to make decisions, decisions that will be beneficial for you and the persons around you. So it's all about your mindset and being proactive and making use of the opportunities around you. So I'd just like to encourage the young ladies to, you know, be bold, be brave, be assertive, and, you know, get going.
Yeah, and believe in yourself.
Believe in yourself.
Yeah.
Yes. We all have faults. Nobody's perfect. Believe in yourself and get going. Because if you don't get going, anything, you know, anything that comes your way, you're just subject to it. But if you get going and you have a vision and you have a pathway, despite whatever challenges, as Euthalia said, whether you have to cut the tree, jump over, whatever, you just keep going. Okay. So anybody else would like to comment? The floor is open now for the next couple of minutes. And I just want to thank Commissioner Cole for being there with us throughout this journey. It's really been a wonderful experience having her on board every step of the way. So I just want to say a special thanks to her and everyone in the team for being, you know, for being there.
Well, thank you very much. When you reached out to me and told me about the program, immediately my positivity is not to say no. I said yes, not even knowing what it was going to be about, how I was going to get persons. I just said yes. And I knew from saying yes, well, then eventually things were going to happen. One of the things I'd like the girls to do is to have positive affirmations that they say to themselves every day. This is what will keep the momentum. They must have something daily that they wake up and they say it. It's like a mantra, a poem, something that my brother, who practiced medicine right there in Trinidad at Mount Hope Hospital, he's now a surgeon intern in Philadelphia. He would put on his wall, go study Brett, Dr. Brett Johnson, go study Brett. And this was his, when you go into the room, you would just see go study. It was to remind him that he needed to keep discipline. So even though he would stop studying at times and take breaks and play, there were times when he just got up immediately. And I said, what happened? He said, I just remember what I read this morning on my wall. Go study Brett. And he is such a motivating force for me as his older sister, because being the last of 7 children, his ability to just be disciplined. He graduated from the medical school here in Guyana in 2012, and by 2013 he was in Trinidad. He spent most of his years given to the Trinidadian people. The Minister of Health recognized his work. I think he was at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital first, and then he moved to Mount Hope. But it's just so that you believe and you have a self-confidence, a self-determination, and to keep yourself always positive, because the negative things will come, but it's how resilient you are to actually rebound. And there's a Japanese proverb that say you fall down 7 times, but get up 8. So do not allow whatever circumstances that you would have encountered to make you feel less than, to make you feel worthless. You are worthy. You are deserving of everything good And you've got to keep telling yourself that every day. Whatever mantra you choose to put up on the wall or to tell yourself daily, it must be something that motivates you, that keeps you keeps your adrenaline pumping, that keeps you moving forward towards your goal. And if you can write down 3 goals that you want to achieve, put them on the wall too. It will be a reminder, even if in 2021 you didn't get to achieve them, it can roll over to 2022 because it's only you can stop yourselves from achieving it. And may God bless you all. You've all been bright, shining stars, and you are all champions. Remember that, right? Remember that you are all champions and winners. God bless you.
Thank you very much, Commissioner. So as we closing off, we're going to take some remarks from any of the girls. Princess, did you want to say something? Any feedback as to how the program has impacted you?
Yes, this program was very moving because half of my family came here just to listen to what the girl just said. What you call her? Anaya? Something?
Aaliyah?
Yes, what she said was very moving, and half of my family just came here just to listen to her and what she was saying. And the session was great about everybody talking about their country. It was great advertisement. Oh, don't tell me. Yes. So
Yes, very, very great. This is Mommy here. Very great indeed. And we really enjoy it. You know, Dominica well represented here. Yes, and it was an interesting analogy with the wood, the tree being in your way, and you have all different options of getting over that tree. And I quite like to use be as liquid as water going down a river. When you look at water going down the river, the water reaches a big boulder. What does the water do? The water doesn't stoop its teeth. The water doesn't turn back. The water very quietly, silently, just meanders its way around the boulder because it's on purpose. Its purpose is to go downstream. So I want to encourage a young lady to be as fluid as water. Okay, blessings.
Thank you. Wonderful. Really encouraging. Any other young lady? Now is your time. We're wrapping up, so I'm sure everybody's hungry by now.
Hi everyone.
Hi, Odessa.
I just want to add something towards Nicole say. I want to tell the young ladies to be strong, be bright, be beautiful. Wake every morning, look in the mirror, say, I am special, I'm blessed, I'm fruitfully made, and move forward in life.
Everyone, my name is Shayann and I am from Suriname. I'd like to thank the founder of the Sophia Miriam Foundation and our facilitators for the great job they have been putting in, their effort, time, and interest to enhance the life of so many young girls, and also teaching us valuable lessons, giving us valuable information. I'm very thankful for it. For me, it was a very fun learning experience, getting to talk and hear the different opinions and views from different people across the Caribbean community. I'm very thankful for it. I think this is amazing because I think it was completely out of love, because when you really love somebody, you try to enhance their knowledge and also create a safe space for them. And the Sophia Miriam Foundation was exactly that for me. A platform where I could learn, but also a platform where I felt safe to express myself, be myself, and also share valuable info that I might possess, which could eventually help another girl. And I'm very thankful for that. It is wonderful, and I really love what our facilitators and our leader have been doing for us. Thank you for listening. Have a wonderful day or wonderful evening. Thank you. Bye-bye.